Welcome to the 5-Minute PM, episode 76, where we break down everything project management into 5-minute segments. Today we're diving into something every project manager dreads but can't ignore. Project failures. Specifically, how to reverse engineer those failures to unlock valuable lessons and improve future outcomes. Let's get into it. Alright, let's talk about failure. It's uncomfortable, it's frustrating, and sometimes it's downright painful. But here's the thing, failure is also a goldmine of information if you know how to analyze it. Just ask Thomas Edison, who famously said, "I have not failed, I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work." In project management, failures happen. Deadlines get missed, budgets spiral out of control, or deliverables fall short of expectations. But rather than sweeping these failures under the rug, the smart move is to reverse engineer them. Reverse engineering project failures means digging into the what, why, and how of what went wrong. Think of it as performing an autopsy on your project, not to assign blame but to uncover the root causes and prevent future mishaps. Step 1. Identify the symptoms. The first step is to look at what went wrong on the surface. Did the project run over budget? Was the client unhappy? Were there technical issues? These are the symptoms, not the root causes. Start by listing them out clearly and honestly. For example, maybe your team delivered a software product late and over budget. The symptoms are obvious, but the reasons behind them require a deeper dive. Step 2. Trace the cause and effect chain. Once you've identified the symptoms, it's time to ask, why? This is where tools like the 5 Whys technique come in handy. Developed by Sakichi Toyoda of Toyota fame, the method involves asking why repeatedly until you get to the root cause. For instance, why was the project late? Because development took longer than expected. Why did development take longer? Because the team had to fix multiple bugs. Why were there so many bugs? Because the initial code wasn't properly tested. Why wasn't the code tested? Because testing was rushed due to poor time estimates. By the 5th why, you're no longer talking about surface-level issues. You've identified a systemic problem, inaccurate time estimates, and rushed testing. Step 3. Map contributing factors. Most failures are complex and rarely stem from a single issue. This is where fishbone diagrams, also known as Ishikawa diagrams, shine. Use them to visually map out all the contributing factors to your failure: processes, people, technology, resources, and even external conditions. For example, if a marketing campaign fell flat, factors might include unclear messaging, lack of audience research, or poor timing. Step 4. Document lessons learned. Once you've identified the root causes and contributing factors, capture those insights in a lessons learned document. Be specific. Instead of writing, improve communication, write, hold weekly alignment meetings with stakeholders to avoid miscommunication. Here's a quick list of things to include in your lessons learned: what happened, the failure itself, why it happened, the root causes, and how to avoid it in the future. Actionable steps. Step 5. Apply your insights. This is the step that separates successful project managers from everyone else. Insights mean nothing if you don't apply them. Build those lessons into your workflows, training, and planning processes. For example, if poor time estimates were the issue, you could implement a requirement for team members to provide detailed breakdowns for their estimates. Let's take a real-world example: the Mars Climate Orbiter. In 1999, NASA lost this $125 million spacecraft because one team used metric units while another used imperial units. The failure highlighted a lack of integration and communication between teams. NASA didn't just shrug this off, they overhauled their processes to ensure cross-team alignment on every mission moving forward. Today, this incident is a classic case study in the importance of standardization and communication. Reverse engineering works because it turns failures into actionable insights. It's like debugging code in software development. You're finding the errors, fixing them, and preventing them from happening again. As psychologist Carol Dweck points out in her research on growth mindset, embracing challenges and learning from mistakes is critical for improvement. That's it for this episode of the 5-Minute PM. Remember, project failures aren't the end. They're a step in the learning process. By reverse engineering what went wrong, you can strengthen your skills, improve your processes, and set your future projects up for success. Have a project failure story or strategy for overcoming one? Drop it in the comments. We'd love to hear it. Want to help support the channel? Don't forget to visit the 5-Minute PM merch store. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and we'll see you in the next episode and keep those projects thriving.